Hi everyone, it is so good to be back. I'm just gonna moisturize my face because I've been like fighting dry skin for the last month, and that's mainly just because it's winter time here in New Jersey, and my skin is always really dry anyway, but then with the winter weather, it's just like it's been sucking the moisture out of my skin. So I've been feeling super dry. Like every time I look in the mirror, there's flakes. So don't mind me as I slather on a bunch of stuff to try to make sure that when I do foundation later on, it's not like flaking up on my forehead, because that's been like my fight for the past couple of weeks. So anyway, I hope everyone is doing well too. Hi, Sapphire from Canada. It's so good to talk to you guys again. Last time I was here, I did the double co-hosting, with Greta, and that was really good. Today, I am going to be doing a tutorial on the monochromatic look, and I'll start that in a little bit. But first, like I said, I really need to moisturize. Like I just did this massive exfoliation about like an hour ago before I came on here with you guys. So I'm like, I need to moisturize just because my skin feels super dry. And I feel like I've been having to exfoliate like every freaking day. So just give me a second. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. Hopefully it's warm wherever you are. Thank you. Hoop Mob. Love them. I hope it's warm wherever you guys are. Here in New Jersey, it's actually snowed today. So so I have a lot of different moisturizers actually. And there's some other stuff that I got that actually recently just got. So as you guys know, along with owning KGC Cosmetics, I'm also an influencer as well. I usually actually focus more on the bridal beauty space when it comes to influencing. So, and I'm also a writer. So one of, I wrote an article a couple months ago, and the company, Beekman 1802 sent me like a ton of their products just to check out because I included them in like a roundup. And so this particular product that I'm using, I'm going to use today as the base for what I'm about to do. Thank you. So one of the things I'm going to be using is, it's called Milkshake, and it's a hyaluronic acid and squalane facial toner mist. So it's actually like I remember this from chemistry. It's a colloid because it's dual layer. But basically you shake it up, spray it, and it's really gentle, and I've been using it throughout the day. It's just like my skin feels super dry even though I exfoliated, and I should have been okay, but whatever. So, and actually what I like about this is that like when you use some mists in the spray, it's actually too forceful. This is really gentle, so I do like that. So Beekman 1802 Milkshake, definitely check it out. And this is a huge container, you guys. It's 8.1 fluid ounces, or 240 milliliters for those of you who use metric. So I definitely recommend checking them out. I don't know if I'm going to use this one or, because I'm at my table today, but I'm at my vanity, so it's a lot easier for me to do all the little things I want to do in terms of moisturizing. All right, so actually I'm going to use, where am I? Sorry, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. It's a little bit thicker. So I'm going to use the, my skin really doesn't cooperate with me in the winter time. It's really bad. So I'm going to use Pixie's Vitamin C Caviar Balm. I'm also, excuse me, I'm also an influencer with them as well. But I'm going to mix it with their jasmine oil blend. This stuff is amazing. One, it smells really good. And two, it's actually pretty good at penetrating, especially since I'm not leaving the house today. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. So it's really easy for me to just like kind of be a little bit more moisturized because it was so cold and dry outside today. So like I mentioned, for those of you who just joined, I am Dorian. I am the founder of KGC Cosmetics. We are now that you know, a Black woman-owned brand, and we are also Leaping Bunny certified. So that means that we are cruelty-free, and we take it a step further by also being vegan. So you can shop with confidence from us, knowing that we are not only do we not test on animals, we don't use any animal products in our products, or we don't use any animal ingredients in our products. So everything is genuinely safe to use. And with Leaping Bunny, being that we are Leaping Bunny certified, what that also means is it's the heaviest certification for cruelty-free production in the world. Leaping Bunny specifically covers North America, but it is the sub company or sub organization of Cruelty Free International. So even if you are not in North America, if you shop our products and you see this little Leaping Bunny sign right there, that basically just means that we do not test on animals, and no matter where you are in the world, you can shop from us with confidence. So we are primarily, yeah, it's really important. Like, I'm not vegan, but I also understand that a lot of people, I mean, you shouldn't be restricted from beauty just because you are vegan. So it's not that hard to find products or to find raw ingredients and to find vendors who do not test, not only not test on animals, but also have vegan formulations. So that's something that's really important to us, or important to me as well. So what was I going to say? Oh, yes. So we are primarily online. Obviously, our own website, Kawaii Girl Cosmetics, is the best place at all to shop from us. But I've been really, really busy in the last month. And a lot of that has been building out our retailer network. So we are actually starting to be carried in stores in the US. And we are working actively to get into stores in Canada. Because I know, like, from coming on here with you guys so much, that there's a lot of Canadians. And I definitely understand that, like, with beauty, it's easy to shop online, but I also understand when people want to actually go in store, look at a product. So right now we are currently carried in some smaller boutiques in California, Texas, Wisconsin, and I'm forgetting. There's another state out there I'm forgetting. But so we're currently carried across the US in physical retailers. We are about to do a couple of other partnerships with other online retailers that sell internationally, but they are based in the US. We also are sold on Kinder Beauty and their marketplace. So if you are familiar with Kinder Beauty, they are a subscription box, but we are not part of their subscription box. We are part of their actual marketplace where no matter what month it is, you can go in and you can shop, and you can actually shop the lashes I'm going to put on today when I do the monochromatic look. So it's pretty exciting. And so we've got a lot going on, that I've been doing a ton. Been very, very busy, which is why I haven't been posting quite as much content, both on Instagram as well as on Super Great. And of course, you can always shop for us on Super Great. You don't just have to wait for the live sales. Thank you, Auburn. Thank you. It's a process. It's getting there slowly but surely. So of course, if you have small boutiques in your region where you're like, this is where I like to go, and it's not Sephora or Ulta, and you want to see Kawaii Girl Cosmetics there, let them know because we will be very happy to expand, especially with the small independent retailers, because we are a small business as well. So I mean, Sephora and Ulta are definitely important, but we know that there's so many places that people go to shop for makeup. So we want to be wherever it is that you like to go to shop for makeup. So today's look, I'm going to be doing a monochromatic look using one of our later release colors from the New York Powders collection. So as you know, our New York Powders are loose shimmer shades, and the whole concept is that you can use them on so many different places on your face if you really wanted to. So the majority of the 16 shades within that collection are designed to really be more universal and can kind of definitely be more like highlighters, lip color, eyeshadow, whatever you really want to do with it. But we do have a few colors that are very, very boldly pigmented, and because of that, they don't necessarily always lend themselves to being like an all over your face look. But I'm going to do that today with St. George. So St. George is our bold blue color. And as you know, if you're familiar with our company, every time we make a collection, the collection is named after a city that's of interest or relevance to me. So for example, with the Tokyo Lash, that is part of the Tokyo Lashes collection. And I love Tokyo. I go there a lot. Yeah, the blue is amazing. And thank you, Auburn. I appreciate that. So we have the individual lashes from the Tokyo Lash collection are named after different districts across the city. Similarly with the New York Powders, these powders, so this is St. George, this is the actual neighborhood in Staten Island, which is one of the 5 boroughs of New York. And if you're familiar, we also have the complementing lash collection called the New York Lashes, and the lashes are each named after one of the 5 boroughs. And if you're not familiar with the 5 boroughs, that is Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. And you guys love our New York lashes. I'm not featuring them today because I'm doing Tokyo, but you guys definitely love it. And I would say our best sellers from that collection have been the Bronx, Queens, and Staten Island, because those are like the really big, super fluffy lashes. So today's look is going to be the monochromatic challenge, basically, using St. George. So that means I'm going to be doing my brows, my eyeliner, and my lips with St. George. So just a few quick tips. Oh, also the lashes. So the lashes, I'm gonna do it live with you guys how to do the lashes. Our lash bands are, excuse me, our lash bands are actually black, but they're thin. They're super, super thin. So I'm gonna show you. So this is the Tokyo lash. Jeez. That I'm going to be wearing later today. This is a totally new pair of lashes, so I will be cutting it, trimming it, and walking you through. So these lashes are really, really lightweight. As I mentioned, obviously they're vegan friendly since we are a vegan brand. And the big thing about them, which it might be a little hard to see if I do it like this. Okay, so they're like, you'll see that they have like a 3D effect to them, so they look more natural. And so that's really the thing that's a big deal about our lashes. They're super lightweight. Thank you. Yeah, they're really good. So the thin bands, they're super lightweight. And the other thing is that if you take care of your lashes, you should be able to get 20 wears out of them. Honestly, you can get more than that, but just for hygiene reasons, I always say 20 wears and then it's time to move on, because even though I get it like it's an investment, but still, you know, your eye health is really important. So let them go after a while. And when we say like take care of them, what that basically means is like when you use them and you take them off, get rid of any excess glue that's still left on the lash band. Don't yank at the hairs just because you end up destroying the lash. So if you just use some common sense when you're wearing lashes, these should last you for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and get started a little bit. I will show you the other lash, which I think I do have in the live sale. Ooh, this is down. In the live sale today. And that is Odaiba. So Odaiba is one of our legacy lashes from the Tokyo collection. And this one is like a big fluffy lash. It was one of our best sellers from the Tokyo collection. It's also one of my favorites, also because Odaiba is the district in Tokyo where I got married back in 2014. So I have a special place in my heart for Odaiba. But so basically we're going to get started now. I think enough people have come in that people aren't going to be coming in saying, what's going on? Okay. So we do have a live sale today. Again, you can always shop through Super Great at any time. As long as there are video reviews for a product, you can shop it. So even if you decide today, that you aren't going to shop today for whatever reason, but you're going to come back later, you can absolutely do that. And we always do like a 20% off. So basically that means our lashes, which are normally, well, this is not, Odaiba is a little bit more expensive and I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Odaiba is actually regularly $38, so with 20% off, it's like $8 off, so it's like $30 or $29 or something like that. But Tokyo is normally $18, and so it would be about, I want to say it comes up to like $13. Also, for people in Canada, it's definitely a good idea if you are going to shop now versus shopping on our website. While we do have decent rates, we do offer like a better rate for shipping for Canada if you shop through Super Great. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I just put on my liquid silk canvas just because I did have all that, the oil that I used earlier. So I want to kind of dry it down a little bit because I don't want to be too greasy. So Kawaii Girl Cosmetics, I'll give you a little bit of background. So beauty was not my initial industry. My professional background, I am a marketer by trade. I specifically have been a marketing consultant since about 2008. 2009. So prior to that, I was working in marketing, but I was working for other companies. And in 2009, I quit my final full-time job and was just like, I've had it. I got to do my own thing. So when I started, one of the first things I ended up doing was connecting with this, oh gosh, I'm like blanking on names, this music festival. It was called Japan Music Week. And so it was basically meant to kind of be like a South by Southwest, but in Japan. And so instead of it just focusing on Japanese artists, they wanted to bring artists in from around the world. So I ended up linking up with the founder of that event, and he basically asked me to help bring in some US and Canadian artists to come perform in Tokyo. So that's what I did. I did that for like 2 or 3 years in a row. I'm trying to forgetting at this point. And then towards that third year, no, it was 2 years, because in 2010, I met a guy who I work with a lot who was actually based in Japan. And then I started working a lot with him to help Japanese artists break their music into the US, as well as Japanese brands to break into the US as well. So I actually have worked with some major label and indie artists from Japan. I've go there quite a bit when we're not in the middle of a pandemic. So I really do love like Japanese culture. And actually I've been a fan of that since I was like in fourth grade. I remember because I'm from Indiana originally. So the Indiana is not really known for being the epicenter of culture. But I'm from Indianapolis originally. And I remember in my elementary school, they brought in these ladies to do an authentic Japanese tea ceremony. And so I'm watching them in the assembly, and they have like the kimonos on, and they're doing it with the matcha. And it was just like, I was just like, this is amazing. And so ever since then, I've kind of always really had a love for Japanese culture. And then I went there for the first time in 2008. And I remember telling my husband, then boyfriend at the time, like, you know what, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to work here. And at that point, like, I was still working full time. I had no idea how I was going to make that happen. And then literally a year later, I was working in Japan, like going back and forth, obviously, but I was working in the Japanese market more or less. And so I've been doing that since 2008. So Kauai just kind of came about from the idea that, yeah, it's such an amazing country, such a very welcoming culture. It's definitely very different from American culture, but it's very welcoming. And I've had just like such amazing experiences as a business person, as a, you know, a consumer running around town in Tokyo. So I always tell people like, you have to go, even as somebody who's been living in New York now for like 10 plus years. I'm like, hands down, Tokyo is better for so many reasons. The subway systems are cleaner. Just everybody is so polite. Like, I'm obsessed. So the concept of kawaii came from, kawaii is obviously a Japanese word, which depending on who you talk to, is either meaning cute or pretty. And so I loved that concept when compared against a lot of times in Western beauty, along with especially with the rise of like Instagram beauty, was this focus on like vixen style, like, just really sexy makeup. And there's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of times with social media, it looks like that is the only way that you can do makeup if you live in the West. And that's not true. So I kind of like the idea of just something cute, and I kind of juxtaposed it myself, just where I'm like, I know that it doesn't just mean cute, but for our business or for the company, it really means like, wear your makeup the way you want to wear it. If you want to be super vampy and sexy, okay, fine. But if you just also want to wear like something simple or super cute and kawaii, and you're into Lolita, like Harajuku culture, that's cool too. And that's really more of what our brand ethos is like, we just want to make beauty accessible for you, and we want you to enjoy it no matter what way you're doing it. So that's really what Kawaii Girl Cosmetics stands for. But yes, the official definition of kawaii is like cute or pretty in Japanese. So in today's look, I'm going to be doing the monochromatic. Yeah, the blue shimmer is gorgeous. It does look really amazing with the gold, which is Allerton. So if you want to put those two together, that's a really cute look. It definitely works. So I will say some tips for doing the monochromatic look, especially if you're using our bolder colors like St. George, or if you're using Queensbridge, which I'm going to use later for the blush, is be intentional, because this is a loose powder, and when you're trying to do it in different ways, oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so literally like every collection we create is named after a city of importance to me. Our next collection, which is coming out probably by the end of next month, is going to be the makeup tools, like brushes and stuff like, makeup brushes and stuff like that. That is going to be called Indie, and Indie is because I'm from Indianapolis, and we call it Indie if you're from that region. It's INDY, not INDIE. So it'll be the Indie collection, and the different brushes, etc. It's going to be similar concept, because it's going to be named after different districts across Indianapolis. So and maybe also some of like my high school, my elementary school, my middle school, that kind of a thing. So yes, be intentional when you're using this, because you have to think about what you're doing, where you're putting it, because if you put your foundation on first and then you come in with the loose powder, you're going to get it all over you. So I highly recommend, and you will see I'm going to do that today, start with the loose powder, and then once you're done doing all of that, come back in with the foundation. So I am going to start just by concealing a little bit. I do have dark circles and a little bit of a little bit of extra pigmentation, because my skin has been fighting me for the past 4 weeks because of the weather. And I'm just looking there we go. Okay, so let's get started. So yeah, I'm really excited about the brushes that are going to come out. We're going to basically be focusing on brushes that obviously complement the New York powders the most in ways that you're most likely to use them. Yeah, let's do one there. in there. Okay. So ways that you're most likely to use them, which basically means like obviously eyeshadow brushes, eyeliner brushes, also a highlight and a blush brush, like that type of thing. Just really simple. We're not doing a massive brush collection right now because it just doesn't warrant it given what's currently available at Kawaii Girl Cosmetics. But we will be, you know, building stuff out just as how we've done with our, trying to find the right brush. Where's my stuff? Oh no, where's my other one? I have so much stuff, you guys. Like, I feel I need to do like a major clean because I've been so busy the last few weeks. And if you're curious, I prefer a very sheer coverage for everything I do. So you'll notice that like whenever I put on concealer or foundation, whether I'm using a sponge or a brush, I'm going to dampen it because I don't want it to be too thick. Yes, I am doing a St. George look today. This is the monochromatic with St. George. So if you had a chance to check out, I will absolutely be doing a live sale when we do that, when we do the brushes, because we're going to be doing some other things too. So it's not just going to be a brush. There's going to be like a complementing mirror that comes with it. So we're going to be doing that. Also, not in the initial launch, just because we're still like working on stuff, but we're also going to be doing like lash kits. So we're going to be having, because I remember you guys kept asking like, hey, are you going to be doing glue for those lashes? Yes, we are. We're going to have glue for the lashes. We're going to have like this, but our version. And then we're going to eventually on the website, you'll see when you shop with us that you will have the option with any of our lash styles. So you can go back and make it a kit. That way, if you're like, I'm just starting out for the first time, you're going to have this plus the glue and then like as a whole kit to go with the lash. So you could do just the tools if you just need the tools and you have lashes, or you can do a full set. So it's going to definitely be like we're building it out so that we're really going to be like a destination for you guys. Okay, so I put my concealer on. Now I'm going to, don't mind me, like I have my drawer over here. Now I'm going to be doing brows. Okay, so doing brows. I'm going to just out these brushes while I'm here. Is there anything on this? I'm not even sure. No, it's just dust. Yeah, it's just dust. Cool. Okay. Okay. So when you're, like I said before, I don't have foundation right now because I know in the way, oh, I didn't finish that. I just realized nobody said, hey, you've got concealer still stuck on your forehead. Okay. So I'm going to start with my brows. Oh, thank you. Hey, good beauty. How are you? So today, I know you love our lashes. So today we're actually doing the Tokyo lash, and I did previously show the Odaiba lash. Oh, I hit my 150 minutes of activity according to my Fitbit. Okay, so anyway, starting with, yes, like the Odaiba lashes are gorgeous. So starting with St. George, I'm going to go in with an angled brush like this, and I'm going to do my brows. So it's really, honestly, this is a very, very easy look to do. But again, like my hands are greasy. Can't open the jar. But like I did mention earlier, oh no, I really can't open this jar. What the heck? Hold on. Hold. I need something with grip. Let me see. My hand's like so greasy apparently. Jeez. Terrible. Oh my god. Thank you. Yeah, these are like my favorite earrings. Oh my god. What the heck? I might have to actually ask my husband to open this for me. Oh, I got it. Whew. Okay, here we go. Thank God. All right, so you're gonna go in. I just shake a little into the cap so it's a little bit easier to use and it's a little bit more controlled. So you're gonna go in, you're gonna outline like you would normally if you're doing your brows, and then you're gonna go in and fill. Very straightforward. And to minimize fallout, oh my god, dampen the brush. So like not sopping wet, but just damp, that's all. The Odaiba is dramatic. I would say Tokyo is more natural. Odaiba is definitely, Odaiba is not as big as the Bronx, Staten Island, or Queens, but it's definitely a bigger fan. So if you want something a little bit more understated, I would say from today's sale, Tokyo If you're like, I want to go big or go home, then I would say Godiva. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, and so the good thing is because I did dampen this, I'm not getting as much fallout. But again, I'm 100% straightforward with you guys. When you are doing a monochromatic look, you are going to get potential fallout. So definitely do foundation last to do all that cleanup. Okay. I always have to teach myself not to turn my head because then I'll end up with crooked brows. Oh, you're welcome. I mean, like, it's important to be honest with people. Like, it's a loose powder, and in most cases, you don't get fallout. But given how you're trying to use this product for this particular look, you are going to get a little bit of fallout. And I do believe I mentioned that even when I did the videos, not last weekend, but the weekend before. So I'm just going to spritz it again. And again, like, you don't want it sopping wet because then it actually is going to like make the powder harden. You just want it to be a little damp so that that the powder sticks better. And like the thing I love is that like this color is just, it's so pretty. Like blue is my favorite color anyway, but yeah, this is like such a nice bold color. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even though it is a loose powder, it's actually quite creamy. Oof. Ah, okay. Also, why you should do the powder last. I mean, you should do the, other stuff last. Yeah, you know what? I have yet to see Euphoria. Everybody keeps talking about it, and I feel like now that like all these shows have come through, and so I'm like trying to watch everything, and it's kind of like I don't know where to start. So because I'm still like catching up on Billions, and I started watching Snowdrop on Disney Plus because I'm a huge K-drama fan. And so I've been kind of like sucked into that. And if anybody's watching that, the storyline is like believable, but not believable. But I like it. And the actors are like attractive, so that always helps. Okay, this one's getting a little messy, so I'm gonna definitely have to go in and clean that up. I've seen once. I remember I used to watch Once Upon a Time when it first came out, and it was on ABC. And then I kind of like got bored with it after a while, just because it was like it got a little extra. And I think at the same time I was also watching Revenge, which was I think Revenge came on before Once Upon a Time or something like that. So it was okay, but I actually liked the woman who was the Wicked Witch. I liked her the best actually out of everybody because like the couple that played Snow White and her husband, I was just like, they were annoying. They really annoyed me. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to clean this up a little bit because it got a little messy. But as you can see, it's actually really, really easy to do. Okay, so it's actually not that bad. Okay, so brows are done. Thank you. Yes, this is a good color. It's a really, really good color. And this is the one of them where I was like, hey, if you feel overwhelmed at the idea of wearing a color this bold, just do it as an eyeliner. All right, so I'm going to put this to the side for now because I still do have to go in and conceal anyway on my brows. So I'm not going to carve them out because I'm not really into that. I kind of really just like the look of when people put like the intense concealer and it's like all the way across. I hate that. So I'm just going to do a very like simple concealer. Okay, and this is just like some random pan of concealer from e.l.f., which I probably honestly should toss out because I've had it for quite a while, but whatever. So I'm just gonna go in and clean up a little bit. And so I'll just show you, like, you do get fallout. You can see a fallout there. So it does happen. That's why I keep saying, like, do foundation last. Otherwise, it's like, it can get a little messy. A little bit more. And then on the other side. So yeah, this was actually a surprisingly simple look that I was able to do when I tested it out the other weekend. And I like that because it's like, I don't want something that's too complicated, just because, I mean, I love makeup and I could always have an excuse to wear makeup, but nothing's more annoying than when you try a look and you get frustrated because it's like, it's so hard to do. And this is not that. So I highly, highly recommend, like, check it out. If you don't do it with St. George, like, by all means, please do it with one of our other powders and tell us how it worked out for you. Okay, so that's cleaned up. Now I am going to do concealer. I have brushes behind me. I am going to do concealer on my eye. So I am going to do a little bit. I'm putting a little bit of eyeshadow on, nothing too crazy because I don't want it to compete with the blue. So I'm just going to do something super, super simple. And if you hear anybody in the background, that's just my husband. All right. Ooh, no, this is not the one I want. So many brushes, you guys. This is kind of ridiculous. I actually need to go through and like clean out my makeup and beauty stuff because I get so much stuff in the mail. Not to brag, like, oh, I get so much stuff, but I get so much stuff in the mail that like it's very easy for me to like not finish product. And you can't see it off screen, but I have like a literal beauty closet over there that's like full, literally full of stuff. So I really do need to like go through just because everything does have expiration dates. So you really shouldn't, especially if something has active ingredients, you absolutely should not be using something that's expired. And so just FYI, for our powders, we do put an expiration of about 12 months. So basically from the moment you open it, you should ideally use it up in 12 months or get something new to like get a new version of it because you don't want to use old stuff. Because basically like there are, even though it is vegan, there are preservatives to help make sure that like it's not, you know, breaking down on your face or that things are glowing in it. So those preservatives, once you pass the 12-month mark, they're not going to be as effective. So you should replace it. Just FYI. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this Morphe palette, the 9R Bronze Metal. And like I said, I'm going to do a super, super basic look that looks like I barely have anything on because I really don't want it to compete with all this blue that's about to happen. Okay, so I'm going to go in with, I don't know what this color is. I think that's First Place. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here. As you can see, my stuff is so messy. There's so much stuff here. But I'm going to go in with, is this the right brush? No, this is not the right brush. Okay, so I'm going to go, not that one either. I need a nice big brush for this. That's not it. Actually, no, this was the brush. All right, anyway, we're going to go in. We'll see. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. All right, so I did, just goes to this. I did that. And now I'm going to go in with, yes. I actually, yeah, so I do have a summer color. I actually have one I'm going to show you guys once I finish this look that was testing it out. It's a super, super vibrant, bright purple color. And I think you guys are going to love it, but it's probably not going to come out until like June, maybe even July, just because obviously with Indie coming out in April, I really kind of want to focus on that initially. But yeah, so we're going to continue to add more colors to the New York Powders collection. It's just that obviously as we move on to other collections, the focus is not going to be quite on the New York collection. So no, it's not an aqua. What did I do with it? It was over here. Oh, here we go. That's the color. So I will swatch it for you guys later. It's so pretty. Like, I love that color. But yeah, we definitely are going to continue to add. Oh, that's okay. Continue to add. Was darker than I meant to do. Crap. We are going to continue to add more colors, but the focus really is going to be, like, as I mentioned, this year we are aiming to launch, oh, it actually worked out. We are aiming to launch 3 collections: Indie, Seoul, and San Francisco. So Indie is the one that's going to be for like makeup brushes and tools. Seoul is going to be skincare. And then San Francisco is going to be lip and cheek color. So those are the core focal points for this year. But we will still like add a few things here and there to the New York collection. Like not the lashes. The lashes are done. We have all 5 boroughs covered. So we are not going to bring out more lashes for that. But we might bring out lashes for San Francisco. So definitely stay tuned. But right now, Indie is the next one that's up, which ideally I'll be able to bring out to you guys in towards the end of next month, basically. All right, so I did this really basic. Let me block that out just a little bit more. I did this really basic eye, mainly because, like I said, the blue is so bold. I don't want to do anything that's really competing with that. So now we're going to go in with a liner brush, and I'm going to line my eye. And just like I did with the brows, ideally I recommend just spritzing down the brush so that you don't get as much fallout. And so just like before, I'm still working with what's in my thing, and I'm going to go ahead and start lining. So don't mind me. My mirror is like right here. So I really need to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. And if you're concerned about fallout, I would recommend tapping it into place instead of dragging it, because that will help to reduce powder fallout. Okay, and I'm going to do just a really minor wing, nothing too crazy. And I'm not using any like black liner today because the whole thing is going to be blue. So okay, and then just get a little bit more in the inner corner. Okay, and I'm going to try to recreate this on this eye. I always find that I'm better at doing liner on my left eye than on my right eye. So we'll see. Okay. So if you're just joining, we are doing a monochromatic look using the shade St. George, which is right here. Hi, another Canadian. Hi, nice to see you. So we're doing a monochromatic, and I already obviously did my brows. And so now we are working on eyes. And then after eyes, I'm actually going to show you, so this is St. George. St. George is our bold blue shade. I love this shade a lot. Excuse me. My voice is like cracking like crazy today. Oof, this one's looking a little messy. Okay. Actually, so, okay, now I can actually concentrate. Oh my God, you guys, I don't know if you can hear my husband in the background. He's so noisy. He just left. He just left to go pick up our daughter from preschool. But, oh my God, like I'm hearing him talking to his cousin in the background. I'm trying to talk to you too. And I'm just like, I'm hearing him talking about the stock market. I'm like, wait, what? Huh? How'd that happen? So it's like, now I can think. All right, so if you just joined, we are doing a monochromatic look using the shade St. George. So we are going to do brows, eyes, lashes, He really does live in a different world. Eyes, brows, lashes, and lip, using the color St. George. If you didn't hear me earlier before I even got into any of the makeup, I was mentioning that we are now actually getting carried by more retailers. So if you are the type that I don't know why I'm closing this, I'm gonna need it. If you're the type who prefers to shop for makeup in store, we're working really hard to make sure that we're getting carried in more locations. So as of right now, our physical retailers that we're working with are only in the US. However, we are in conversations now about getting into Canada, because I know we have a lot of Canadian fans, especially because of us being on Super Great. So I really want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to shop in store, or to at least shop with an online retailer in Canada, so you are not paying crazy fees for shipping. So we are also on Kinder Beauty. Kinder Beauty is carrying our Tokyo lashes, and if you're familiar, Kinder Beauty is one of the largest, or is one of the top vegan subscription beauty services. We are not part of the subscription service. We are part of their marketplace, which is regardless of like whether you are or not a subscriber, you can go on, yes, Kinder Beauty, just like that. You can go onto their store and you can shop for our products, and you don't have to be a subscriber. So that's really nice. Okay, so the shadow is done. The eyes are basically done. I'm now going to do the lashes. So the lashes, this is something where this is probably the only part that, so right now we are not currently in Canada, but we are in conversations with some retailers. So I can't say who we're talking to yet, just because we're still negotiating, but just know that we are working very hard to get into the Canadian market. And if we do, with one of the retailers we've been talking to, it's going to be a very major retailer. So fingers crossed, you guys. And like I said, please, tell your local stores, especially independent beauty retailers, if you love what you see and you want to see us in your stores so that it's easier for you to shop and test products, please let them know. Be like, you don't have Corrego Cosmetics? Like, what are you even doing with your life? Like, let them know that you want us there and we will be working like crazy to make sure it happens. So I'm going to shop. Yes, I'm familiar. I'm very familiar. So if you tell the local retailer at Shoppers, tell the cashiers, tell the people in the beauty departments, like, hey, are you familiar with this brand? Because they're amazing and I wish they were in this country. Like, let them know, because we are actually also in conversations. Doesn't really matter for Canada, but we're also in conversations for the Asian market to begin distribution there too. So we really are working very hard behind the scenes to make sure that we're going to get that coverage for you guys as well. So keep that up. Yeah, please, seriously, because if people are asking for it, it's going to make them want to pick us up. So, something I learned from when I used to work with music artists, if you don't go to your radio station and be like, hey, why aren't you playing this song? It's very hard for the artist to get into that market and do touring. So it's that kind of a thing. All right, so let's do color on lashes. So this is the only part of this entire process that, whether you're using a pressed powder, whether you're using a loose powder, it is messy. I'm not even going to lie to you. It can be very messy. So just prepare yourself. And when you're doing this in your home or wherever, just make sure you have an area, you lay something down to be a little bit clean about it, because you will get powder fallout as you're doing this. And yes, your hands will get a little dirty. And my husband's stock market alerts are going on right now. Okay, so anyway, I am going to be doing this with the Tokyo lashes. Is this Tokyo? Yes, with the Tokyo lash. This is also going to be a tutorial on how to apply lashes. If you're one of those people that's just hey, I'm a little nervous about doing it. Don't be nervous. It's very easy. So this is how the lashes come. Most people are not going to be able to wear a lash the full length. It's going to be something you're going to have to trim it. I've been wearing lashes religiously for years. I barely even own a tube of mascara, so I already know where to trim my lashes. Conventional wisdom will tell you that when you're trimming lashes, to trim from the inside or to trim from the outside. I usually personally do not do that. I will do it from the inside. That's mainly because, for the most part, so many of the lashes that I wear, even before I started Corrego Cosmetics, and now you have a bigger fan on the end. So, oh yeah, we did. We've been making some money. But yeah, it's interesting. And apparently Amazon's splitting, you guys. Amazon is splitting 20-1. So if you own one share of stock in Amazon in like 3 months in June, it's splitting to 20. So if you wanted to like buy into Amazon, buy into it now, you know it's going to go back up. It's an expensive stock, but FYI. Okay, so anyway, stock tips. So if you are going to trim, I prefer to trim from the inside, mainly because I know that if there's a big fan on the outside and you cut that off, then it's kind of like a boring lash at that point. So I prefer to do it from the inside. So you're going to start right or left, it doesn't matter. I always do my left one first. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm left-handed. I don't know. So anyway, you're going to take it off gently because it's always going to come attached. So gently remove it. And then you could use like some nail scissors. So I have like these ones here. It's backwards. So I have like these ones. And I just literally, you don't necessarily need to trim a lot. But again, it's always going to depend on the length of your lid. Because the main thing is you don't want to put your lash where it's actually all the way to the inner corner. That's going to hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable. And you're going to say that this sucks and she's crazy and I don't want to wear these lashes. So you're going to make sure that you basically, see if I can get close without scaring you guys away. You basically want to go to where your last longer natural lashes are, which is usually going to be like, for me, like it's right about here. So like if I'm looking forward, I'm going to put this so that it's just past the pupil. Iris, excuse me. It's just past the iris of my eye. And that it actually lines up to being towards the end of my eye. So like I said, I know what to do. So I don't have to like judge and guess, but basically put it up there against your eye, see where that lines up and trim off the excess. So I trimmed and so this is what I'm left with, which it probably still looks the same length to you guys, but it is shorter. So normally if I wasn't going to paint this, I would just put on the lash glue, let it dry down a bit and then pop it in. I am going to paint this. So what I'm going to do, and it's easier if, okay, so I've had these spoolies forever. So it's easier if you do it with a spoolie, but you can also, as you can see, this is probably blue from the last time I did it. You could use it with like a dual brush, as long as you have a spoolie. They are super durable. Our lashes are like, they take a beating and keep on ticking. I always tell people, you can get them wet. You can then just blow dry them. They will come back with the curl. It's like, they're really durable lashes. Like I always say, like I went to Sesame Place. Yes, Sesame Place. Earlier, well, last summer with my husband and my daughter, we went down the lazy river. My lashes got soaked. I had to like take them off and just put them in my pocket. I got home, I spritzed them, blow dried them on cool. They came back. So we really do make a very durable lash. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be a little bit messy, you guys. So just bear with me because even I'm just kind of like, ugh. Okay, so what I'm going to do, but you don't have to do it this way. I have a palette. So I'm going to take a palette. I'm going to take a little, and I also have a spatula. I'm going to take a little bit of loose powder. You don't need a lot just because the color saturation is pretty good. And with what I'm about to do, it's not like you don't have to do all that. Right, I know. Sesame Street is actually, there is officially a Sesame Street in New York City, you guys. It's like on 57th near Columbus Circle, because that's actually not far from where the Children's Television Workshop is, where they used to do some of the filming. But yeah, so there is actually a Sesame Street. And then the funny thing is, if you go to Brooklyn, to Dumbo, which is down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass, you'll see this iconic where everybody takes those pictures of the Brooklyn Bridge. That's also kind of part of the Sesame Street, oh gosh, what's the set? How the set looks, like, you know, for kids. So it's a really cute thing. So I have my powder. Oop, and I'm making a mess. So I have my powder. I'm going to dip it down in here. And I'm not going to go crazy taking a lot of powder out because it's not necessary. So this is one of the few times, like when I'm actually putting my lashes on, I don't normally use this, but for doing this type of a thing, it's good to have something else, just because from the last time I did this, it definitely does get a little messy. And I just really don't feel like having blue hands. Oh, so awesome. Yes. I love Sesame Street. Like, I could watch it all day long. I don't even care. My daughter's 3, so of course I see plenty of Sesame Street, but Yeah, I love Sesame Street. Okay, so I'm going to take my spoolie. And these are like actually quite cheap. I got these years ago at Harmon Face Values, and it was like $1. So they're very, very affordable. I'm going to spritz it down again because, again, you're going to try to minimize the fallout. Try not to spray the lashes because what you don't want is for them to get clumpy. So I'm going to take my spoolie and then just kind of dip it into the loose powder. And remember I put it in the palette and it's not like going into the jar just because I don't want my actual main powder to get gross. So you could probably see a little bit, there's blue on it now. So then you're basically just going to brush it through and just keep doing it like that. So it's not going to be like a super vibrant blue the same way you're seeing it on my brows or on my eyes, just because obviously it's not pressed in the way I was pressing in for that. But it's super, super easy to do. Were they not the box lashes? They were in different colors? No. So when I did this look a couple weeks ago, I actually did it with the Tokyo lash. So, because I just decided, like, you guys have seen all the New York lashes, but I really never talked about the Tokyo lashes, like the lash collection that started it all. So, there we go. Okay. All right, so there you go. We have sort of blue, like that. And I'm fine with that as is. I don't really want to, like, fight it too much because I don't want to be, like, covered in blue powder. So now I'm going to go in with my lash adhesive. I prefer black lash glue just because normally I'm wearing black eyeliner and it kind of can hide it better. However, you could use clear. It really doesn't matter. When we do our lash glue, we're going to have black and clear, and it is going to be like in a brush tube, because I personally find that the brush tubes are better only because when I have used the squeeze tubes, if you're not careful, you end up getting the glue on the actual lashes, and it's really annoying. So I dropped different color. Oh yeah, we have not done color lashes yet. I think people ask me why, and I remember saying that basically the issue I've had when I've been sourcing that is that the fibers just look really cheap, and I didn't like the way that looked. So to date, we have not. But if I can find better quality supplies, then like I'm absolutely down to do it, because I love the idea of colorful lashes. It's just like, yeah, a lot of times they look like really cheap plasticky, like the really bad lashes you can get on eBay and Amazon, and I didn't want that. But yeah, I'm definitely down for that. So I'm just gonna let this dry, and I kind of do have to just let it dry, because in a normal situation, if I wasn't doing monochromatic look, I would have like already done like foundation. I would be getting into contour, but because like I said, this is an intentional look, I have to wait. So anyway, what was I gonna say? I don't even know. But yeah, I love the idea of colorful lashes. I really do. It's just like a lot of times I just don't like the fiber, and that's definitely something like every time we open a new collection or even just looking for packaging, I always am like, okay, it has to look a certain way, because I feel like at this point, we're not a massive brand by any stretch of the imagination. We don't have a massive market share at all either. But I feel like at this point, people have gotten to the point where they've expected a certain level from Kawaii Cosmetics. So anything we do has to be like here. And so it definitely does make it a little bit harder. But yeah, I do love color lashes. Okay, so I wouldn't do this if it was going on somebody else's eye, but I'm trying to speed this up so you're not just looking at me holding a lash looking silly. So, because they usually say that you should let it sit for 30 seconds to get tacky. I find it takes longer than that. And it also can even depend on the weather and the humidity in the room and all this other kind of stuff. So, okay, I feel like we've kind of let this marinate enough. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this in. And so, again, for me, I like to start from the outside and like tap it in. You can use the lash holder that I was using before. I don't, and it's mainly just because I got so used to it's lifting. And I'll show you guys how to fix it if it lifts. It's not the end of the world. This is really lifting. I don't know if I put enough glue on this. Let me see. No, I didn't. All right. So I like to, just lifting a little bit? Okay. I like to go from the outside and squeeze it in. Well, I might just need new glue. This might be getting a little dry. And I also, when I am applying glue, I usually actually put a little extra on the ends, because that's usually where, if you're going to get lifting, it happens in the ends. It doesn't happen in the middle. So I highly recommend, like, just tap a little bit extra. Nothing crazy, but just enough so that, you know, it stays in place. All right. You know, I should have brought my fan, because then I could use my fan to set this up. Okay. So once you get the lashes on, this look becomes super quick and super easy, because then after lashes, it's foundation and concealer, and then the lip. And the lip is actually super quick and easy to do as well. So, you know, it's easy. It's just this lash glue did not dry as quickly as I thought it was going to. Okay, because I really want to, like, get through this and then, like, show you the color, the new color that we're going to do in the summer, and then talk a little bit more about what we have coming in for next month, because next month it's going to be indie, and I'm really excited about that. So, okay, I think that's good. All right, so like I said, you're popping it in. You're going to start from the outside and work your way in. As of right now, the lash glue I'm really liking is, I think this is Kiss, which it's a strip lash adhesive. This is latex free, and it has biotin and blueberry. Because I have sensitive skin, and I've actually had lash glue in the past that has made my eyelids peel, because it was just not. So I'm very loyal when I find a good lash glue, and that's also why we've been taking our time in finding a lash glue for us as well, because for me, it's like I have sensitive skin, so I need to make sure that, like, I could wear these products and not hurt myself. So I want to make sure it's safe for everybody else too. Okay, so as you can see, you're just gonna press it in or push it into the lash line. And then I like to squeeze it down. Ooh. And since I'm actually doing a blue look completely, which they didn't come out too blue today, but whatever, it's fine. I'm probably going to go back in with the blue liner, because when you squeeze it down, you can kind of, the liner can get lost in it. Yeah, so everybody has their way. There's no one right way to do your lashes. This is just what I've been doing. Like I said, some people don't like to do it by hand. They like to use this. I don't use this because I just never really used it. And so for me, it's kind of like more awkward. But whatever makes it work. Some people will even cut a pair of lashes in half and then just do half and half. And it makes it easier for them. So whatever you need to do to make it work, do it. All right, so we did this lash. I'm going to leave it alone to let it set. And I'm going to work on the other lash. And so since, again, this is a new pair of lashes, so I'm going to trim it. And then we're going to do the whole thing again. I need to find my scissors. Did I put them away, you guys? No. Ugh, so annoying. Oh, there it is. I really need to clean this table because it is a mess right now. Exactly. We're all different. If we were all the same, it'd be a very, very boring world. So, and honestly, with makeup, like, unless you're like a makeup artist, and, you know, I feel like it's totally okay to just do things whatever way works for you. Like, there's no perfect whatever. So it's fine. All right, so similar to before, I'm going to go back in, I'm going to spritz my spoolie, and I'm going to paint this lash, and then I'm going to, okay, good. Then I'm going to go back, put the glue on, and put it in. So if you do like St. George, it is on sale today for 20% off. So normally it would be $15, and I think with the 20%, it is now, I'm going to say $12.20 or something like that. So definitely check it out. And again, if you are in Canada, I highly recommend, oh, thank you. I highly recommend that you shop through Super Great, just because while we do try to get preferential rates through traditional carriers like USPS and UPS, we definitely offer a preferential shipping fees for Super Great. So it's significantly cheaper than if you were to shop on our website. And again, that's also why we're working to get in directly into Canada, just because I get it. You know, I totally get it. It's very expensive when you're shopping from international markets. I do it occasionally, and then there's times where I don't because it's just like it's too expensive. So I totally understand, and I want to make sure that you guys are able to get the products you love. So yeah, that's just something to think about. All right, so that's looking pretty blue. So we are done with lash painting, and now it's time to do the glue. Yeah, it can be a lot more because like in the US, I know that for the US Postal Service, it's usually about, we can get away with doing like $7 if it's not more than like a pound, 7 US. But I know that like in Canada, even when you adjust for the exchange rate, it can be more. So it's definitely, that's why I always say like, hey, you know, if there's something you really love, buy it on Super Great. Like, seriously. All right, so this is painted. I really think I need to get new glue. This might be a little old. It's getting a little bubbly. Okay, so this is painted. I'm going to let it dry. Yes, we are a Shopify-based website, so we support all international sales. That's not a problem. We can do sales with anybody, and especially because of the fact that we are currently setting ourselves up to become distributed abroad. We can absolutely support sales in other markets. Currently, if you go on our website and you go into, if you're on the desktop version, if you go to the bottom of the page, you can change the language to Spanish as well as to Korean and Japanese to give you an idea of where we're heading into. And then we are potentially considering also adding French since we are focusing on Canada. And I do know that Canada obviously has a French-speaking population. So we do focus that right now. But you could still, even now, without the French aspect, you can shop. When you come to our website, it should automatically shift into your local currency so you can see what the actual price is for you. Okay. I really should have brought my fan because I would be done with this by now. So if you're just joining, we are doing a monochromatic look. I'm definitely going to go back in because like the lash didn't get as blue as I was hoping, so you can't see the blue liner as much, but I'm going to go back in and touch up the blue liner once I put this lash on, and then it's going to get a lot faster because then we can just do foundation, concealer, contour, and then the only other big reveal after that is going to be the lip. And then we're going to talk about new colors that are coming, which is yet to be named. I might just ask you guys to name it for me. And then we're going to talk about new releases that are coming, like new collections. So, not quite. So the main thing about this lash glue is like you don't want it to be too wet and that's why I'm like waiting. If it's too wet, it's going to pop right back up. And that is very annoying. And that's like the frustration. I would also say if this is your first time, wait, which blue shimmer? Bring back, well, these are always going to be here. So we're always going to have it. So we have 2 blue colors in our collection. We have St. George, which is this color. And then we also have Kingsbridge, which is this color here. So those 2 colors are like, they're staples. They're really strong options for us, so we're not going to get rid of them. Oh yeah, so this color is going to be available, which is, I think I might have mentioned it before. As long as there are review videos of any of our products, you can shop that product even if it's not in the middle of a live on Super Great. So Kingsbridge has videos. St. George definitely has videos because I did like a whole look the other weekend. So you can absolutely shop these colors, and we usually almost always have a running sale where it's like 20% off, excuse me, on all of our products that are currently up on Super Great. So definitely like take advantage. We want you to shop. We want you to share your opinions. Like you don't just have to go through Kawaii Girl Cosmetics. Like if you want to, by all means, please, thank you. But at the same time, if it's more convenient for you to shop through Super Great, that's fine. We will still ship it to you quickly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this one on too. Okay. And I'll also show you what happened, like what to do if you're having a hard time getting the ends to sit down, because sometimes that happens. Yeah, we try to ship pretty quickly, just because we know, like, you spend your money, you want your product. So we definitely work to make sure that you get it as quickly as possible. Okay, so if, like what just happened to me where it didn't go all the way down, I'm just checking because like I can't see with my curtain, it looks too dark, so I use my hand to see. If it doesn't go all the way down, this is probably a trick that's better to do once you get more comfortable doing this or doing lashes. But I just basically go in with my lash glue, and I'm going to pop up because I actually need my mirror to do this. But basically you're going to go in, hold the lash down, tap a little in where it's popped up, and let it sit. And then you're going to come back like a few minutes later, whatever, press it in. Perfect. Okay, so I just popped my glue in, and I'm done with glue now, and I'm done with lashes. I am going to go back in and line my eyes, just because I feel like with this one in particular, it's kind of getting lost because they are blue, but they don't look, the lashes don't look as blue as my brows, you know? So spritz again to make sure we kind of minimize the fallout, although it doesn't matter as much because you have the blue lash. And so now I'm going to go in. I'm just going to take this stuff. Now we're going to go in and just press in to make sure that that's a little bit more vibrant. Yeah, there we go. Like a lavender blue. Trying to think. Because the only colors we have that are blue are Kingsbridge and St. George. Or were you thinking of Bronx Park, which is actually kind of like a really soft purple? Oh, it was blue. Okay. Well, I gotta figure this out because I'm like trying to think where that could be. Okay. Okay. Better. All right. I'm just gonna hit over here too to make that pop a bit more. Oh, that's so much better. I love this color. It's so pretty. Yeah, fabulous. Okay, so now let's get it moving. So I'm gonna go with my foundation. I've been using this one or Kevin Icon. I can't remember. I have been using this one, but I'm gonna use this one because I feel like this might be a little heavy given that I put all that oil on at the beginning. So this is Kevin Icon Stripped Nude Skin Tint. I am wearing it in Deep ST8. And it's basically, honestly, it's like a tinted moisturizer. So I really love it. Like in a normal day, hold on, let me just make sure that got in right. Okay. On a normal day, I don't wear a really heavy foundation. I'm not a fan of it. So this for me is like so much better. It's super light. Ooh, it's a little bit much. It's super light, but it's strong enough that it's going to clean up the little bit of fallout that I do have. And it also is great at evening skin tone. Like a lot of people, I do have hyperpigmentation. It's really common for everybody, but definitely for people of color. I get a little bit of hyperpigmentation like around my mouth. And then anytime I've ever had like a minor breakout. So it's like, this is just a good way to kind of balance that out. So let me find a clean sponge. Yes, I'm gonna use this one. Okay. So as with everything else, I'm gonna spritz this down just to kind of shear it out just a little bit. So I really just want to even my skin tone. I'm not trying to like reinvent the wheel. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves is people wearing foundation that is not their color, whether it's too light or too dark. Okay. And this is also like, it's so lightweight. I love this foundation or skin tint, whatever. It's just like really light. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything when you have it on. And like, this is actually pretty good. Like I was concerned it was going to be too light even for my winter color, but it's actually quite nice. Okay, so it's starting to come together. All right, so now up next, under eye concealer. Oh, you talking about in the video of how it looks? Yeah, so, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is, I mean, St. George is a very bold cobalt blue, but, and it's one of the ones where, oh, you might be talking about Cobble Hill, because Cobble Hill is one of our few shade shifting colors. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to pull it out for you guys. Okay, so this is Cobble Hill. It looks kind of pinkish in the jar, but it's one of the two shade shifting colors that we have. So like on me, it does not look, so this is what it, make sure I don't drop this. Come on, come down. Okay, this is what it looks like in the jar. But when I swatch it, there's a lot of blue in it. So, so it looks more blue. Maybe that was what you were you were seeing. Yeah, so this one, it's definitely, and you can see like here, it's very, very iridescent. Yeah, so this is Cobble Hill. It's not in the sale today, and I don't think we have any videos of it on Super Great, but it's $15 on our website. And if you guys sign up to our newsletter, you get like a 20% off coupon to use. And so you could save that way. Okay, so I just did foundation. I am now going to do concealer. And just like with everything else I do, I don't like to do a lot of concealer. You know, I don't follow what the Instagram gurus do because they slather it on and I don't. I am 39 going on 40. I have mature skin. So I absolutely cannot be out here slathering on foundation because my skin will not like it, and I will end up looking cakey and gross as the day goes on. Absolutely. Yeah, like all the shades, I have them all here. So I'm perfectly happy to demo. All right, so what's going to be my powder? I'm going to, once again, take my brush, or take my sponge and spritz my sponge, set this up, powder it up, and then we're going to be ready for contour. So, oh, if anybody was curious, this was the Morphe C4.35 is the shade. I forget the name of it because it's actually the companion to, I don't even know if I have the concealer anymore. It's the companion to their Fluidity. So I think it's just like the Fluidity concealer. Yeah, this is one of the few that actually looks really good on me where it doesn't settle, it actually hides. Because like I said, I've had under eye darkness and bags since I was like in high school. So it's pretty rare for me to be able to find something that actually like hides that. So I am a huge fan. Yeah. And it's like a perfect match. And I have to say, like, I love shopping at Morphe because the people are actually quite knowledgeable and very helpful. And so like the lady helped me find like the right shade because I don't want something that's too light that looks silly on me. And she was just like super helpful. This is like in the middle of the pandemic. She was very sweet. It was really nice. Okay. So I actually learned, like, I tap in my concealer, I don't drag. And the reason I don't, I put too much on there. The reason I don't is I remember I was watching Robert Welsh, the twins, like they're British, and the one that's actually a makeup artist. And he was saying how when you drag, all you're actually doing is like moving it around, and it's not like, yeah, exactly. It stays more in place and it looks less like ridiculous. So yeah, I love them. They're hilarious. I love watching their videos on Facebook, actually, I think is where I see them. So anyway, yeah. So that's mostly done. You're probably going to hear my daughter now, and that's okay. She's probably even going to run in here. So you'll see her. All right, so now I'm going to do powder. I use the Laura Mercier powder. Yeah, right? And then I realized, like, the makeup artist one, I think Robert, has the the cut on his eyebrow, and that's kind of like how you tell them apart. So I'm using this powder in the translucent medium deep. Love this stuff. And I just put a little bit, because again, like, when you're older, the last thing you want to do is do stuff that calls attention to fine lines. So I don't go crazy. I don't bake. I don't do that. I basically just lightly tap just so that it's not looking too greasy. And that is it, you guys. Okay. So up next is contour. And I have recently fallen in love with, I have recently fallen in love with Beauty Bakery and their brownie bar. I honestly only use the contour shade, which is right down here, but I love it. So I am going to use, here we go, this brush, which you guys know I love this brush. It's like so fantastic for carving out your cheeks. Yeah, so the orange, I think the orange is supposed to be like, I forget what it's supposed to be. It doesn't really do much for my skin tone, but the brown is the one that actually is pretty decent. And kind of like with everything else, I don't do really hardcore contour, only because like naturally I actually have fairly high cheekbones, so I don't find that I need that. But I do like to have a little something there. And that's, yeah, exactly. I really am a less is more person, just because it's like, a lot of times, especially like, I normally don't do major eye looks. I'm just doing like my lashes and eyeliner, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And obviously foundation and stuff like that. But I like to keep it simple, because it's like, it's not really necessary to go like hard. So I don't go hard. And like the only time I usually will do like real eye looks is like if I'm going to a special event, like a wedding or something like that. Otherwise I don't. I'm trying to get out the door. I mean, at this point, I was like that even before I had my daughter, but now that I've had her, and like trying to get out the door with like a 3-year-old who's like hopping on you, because normally she would be behind me in this chair. I've mastered the art of putting liner on with her on me, like jumping on me. So no. All right, so we did the, oh, I'm not actually done. Just realized that. So up next, I am going to do my nose a little bit. I also don't go crazy contouring my nose either. And I said this before, like I have an ethnic nose. It is what it is. I'm not trying to thin it out for people. You're going to take all this nose and like it. So I just do a little bit just so that it doesn't look too flat after I've been like putting all this makeup on. But yeah, I really just don't, I don't do too much, just because I feel like, what's the point? Okay. All right, so contour is done. And now we're going to highlight really quickly. And then we're going to do lip. And then we're done. Okay, so actually before I do the highlight, I'm going to do the blush. So if you guys joined Greta and I last month when we did our co-hosting event, which I forget what we were, oh, for the live drop. When we did the live drop for Queensbridge, we actually used, which is a red shade, we used that as a blush. And ever since I saw her do that, I've been obsessed. So I am going to do, yes, this is our Valentine's / Lunar New Year look. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this, and it's like a bold red, but it's actually, you can sheer it out really easily. So as you guys have seen, I'm very much less is more, so I just very lightly dipped it in, and I was able to get that much color payoff. So I think I put too much on this side, but yeah, so there we go. Blush is in, and now we're gonna highlight, and then I'm gonna do lip. And highlight's really fast. I tend to do a highlight, is that too much? Yeah, at least that way it matches better. Okay, so I tend to do a highlight with Williamsbridge, if I can find it. And I might have taken it down. Yeah, I think I did. All right, so I'm going to go in with, oh, there's ours. Hold on. Let me get Williamsbridge. All right, so Williamsbridge is a copper shade here. This is one of our universals. Yeah, the red as a blush is just, I think it's phenomenal. And it's also like, I wasn't expecting it to be a universal shade, but it definitely is. And it works for so many different people. So I highly recommend, check out Queensbridge if you haven't. There's a ton of videos on Super Great of people who were able to get the live drop that we did last time. So definitely check it out. All right, so I'm going to go in with Williamsbridge, which is a copper shade, and just do a little bit of a highlight. And I do believe Williamsbridge is in the sale today. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember if I tagged it as a product. So I normally don't, again, do a heavy highlight, but you can see like it is there. If you want to go heavy, you absolutely can with these colors, and you'll get like, you know, a bolder highlight if that's what you prefer. All right, I'm just going to put a little bit there. And I'm going to come back and put some on my Cupid's bow after I do, oh, thank you. Yeah, this is such a great color. After I do the blue lip. So I did prep my lips, but I feel like my lips have gotten dry, man. So I'm going to put just a little bit more, because even though like these are not drying powders, but if you're going to use a powder on your lip, you do want to make sure that you don't have any like dry skin, because that's just, it's a recipe for disaster. So I'm going to finish out my highlight. There we go. I'm going to finish out my highlight. Wait, this is the wrong color. By putting in Murray Hill. Murray Hill is also one of our universal shades. This one I use a lot, so it's kind of like empty-ish a little bit. But so it's like a dusty mauve, and it's a fantastic color. I usually use it a little bit as a highlight, and then I also use it as a underbrow highlight as well. I think it's just really pretty that way. So I am going to do a slight highlight on my cheekbones. And then this one. Oh, a little bit on my nose, it's fine. And I do like that they layer well. Yeah, these jars, like, they last. They last, you guys. Like, if you run through it really quickly, then I'm interested to see what you're doing. Because they're actually very, like, we give you a lot of product. So I have this little, like, mini fan brush from Morphe that I love for specifically going in under my brow. It is just great for, like, getting in there. Actually, I can put just a little bit more, because that's looking like not enough. Yeah, the blue eyeliner is like gorgeous. And I am going to go under eye as well a little bit. Actually, yeah, and I might do a story. No, that's what I put Williamsbridge as the inner corner. So just because I didn't want to look closed off, because that's the only thing about when you wear dark colors as an under eyeliner. If you go the whole length of your under eye, your eye will look smaller. So I usually just go like 3/4 of a length, and then that way it looks open. All right, so Murray Hill is in. I'm going to do under eye, and then we're going to do lip. So again, if you don't want the fallout, I definitely recommend spritzing, which I probably should have done before I dipped it into the thing, but I'm just going to go in really simple. So you see, like, I don't go all the way in, because if you go all the way in, your eye will look smaller. And then same thing on this side. Oh my God, thank you. No, my skin was not smooth this morning. Thank you so much. You know what? I will absolutely do a skin routine thing. I was mentioning it earlier. If you were, I don't know if you were in here when I started the live. I have like really dry skin, and the winter time is not my friend. I did like a massive exfoliation this like literally an hour before the live, because it was just like, I've been dealing with such extreme flaking this winter season in particular for some reason. And it's like, it's been cold in New Jersey, but it hasn't been that cold. So I don't really know like why that was happening, but we definitely we do have plans to come out with a skincare collection later this year. And originally I was just going to focus solely on like a primer and a moisturizer. But I think at this point, I'm also awesome. So I'm also going to include like a gentle exfoliator. So I have sensitive skin. So like I do not use retinol because retinol is not always going to work for everybody. I actually like Bakuchiol, and I love it because it gives you the same benefits of retinol without the harshness. So why am I closing this? I gotta do this again. So yeah, I am in North Jersey, but yeah, my skin has just been fighting me like all season. Like all this season has been fighting me. Like I'm so happy that it's starting to get warmer out here. Just because like once the weather hits above 60 degrees, like Fahrenheit, I don't know the Celsius exchange for that. But once it hits above 60, like my skin behaves. Up until, okay, Morris County. Yeah, I'm in Hudson County. So, Hoop Mob with 2 B's. They're amazing. And they actually have fast shipping too. They're a really great small business to shop from. All right, so okay, so I'm going to go in with Williamsburg. I'm like blinking. I'm going to go, you know what? No, I'm going to go in with Bed-Stuy. So Bed-Stuy, you guys know, is a fan favorite. People love this color just because it's like so universal, so bright. It's a really, really cute color. So I need a thin brush that's not dirty. You know what? This is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take this one. So, this is Bed-Stuy, which we did our other drop earlier last year with Bed-Stuy. And this one is the color. I'm just going to put it in a little bit, and it lightens up. You know what? This one also needs to be spritzed, because Bed-Stuy is one of the few colors we have that it's actually truly more glittery. So you could use like a glitter medium if you prefer, but you could also just go in with a little spritz of water and it'll stick better. So I'm just going to go in with a little damp brush and just go in the inner corners to kind of open it up a bit more. I'm going to go back in because I can see it, but I don't think you guys can see it. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Spray just a little bit more. I'm going to do the other eye. Then we're doing the lip, and then we're done. Let me put this in here. There we go. There. So now you can see it's just a little bit more open. All right, so now, yeah, you know, it's just such a like easy look, and they're not fighting each other. So that's also the really important thing. Okay, so now we're gonna go in and we're gonna do the lip. So same thing as before. You don't want fallout, so I really, really strongly recommend that you spritz your brush down before you do this for the lip. I am using, this is a Laura Geller. It's actually a concealer brush, but basically you just want any brush. Obviously I used this before. But you just want any brush that's like a flathead so that you can kind of press it in, because you're not going to be dragging. If you drag, you're going to get a lot of fallout. You're just going to take color, press, take color, press, and just follow your natural lip line. This is one of those routines also that, because it's such a bold color and because it's a powder, I do not recommend that you try to recreate your lip by making it look bigger, because it's going to be really messy if you try to do that with a loose powder. So you're just going to follow your natural lip line, and I'm going to spritz, which I've been doing this whole time. And now we're going to get in here and do this. Okay, actually I need this one because it's like kind of dark with the overlay of how Super Great is. I can't really see as well as I should. And you really just want to take your time so that you don't make too many mistakes. But if you do, yeah, I mean, I could add the shine to it. I'm actually not much of a gloss person anymore. I kind of have gotten more into like a matte. But yeah, you could absolutely do that as well. Okay, so we did the top lip. And you can definitely, when you're done with this, go back with concealer to clean up anything that needs to be cleaned up. Alright, so I'm just pressing it in. And when I'm pressing it, I'm not getting much fallout, which is really quite nice. Probably am going to go back in with some concealer because that's a little messy on this side. But that's that. Alright, so I am going to clean it up because it is a little messy. But so we are done with St. George. I can close it. I can close it now, finally. Alright, so I'm going to go in with a small concealer brush, if I can find one. Okay, this is good enough. This is not really a concealer brush, but I just need something really thin and small to get in and do this. So, thank you. Yeah, so this is just like it's honestly an easier look. If I wasn't talking to anybody, I could do this in like 20 minutes tops, but you know, I get on here with you guys. I'm like a chatterbox. So I'm just gonna go in very lightly. Yeah, because it's a little messy. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I love this shade of blue. Okay, so now I'm just gonna clean up. And then I am actually gonna go in to my Cupid's bow and put the Williams bridge. I'm kind of brushing, so I made some mistakes there, but you guys get the point. All right, so the top is actually not bad, but I'm going to clean it out just because, you know, anything worth doing is worth doing right. So yes, I'm going to show you the new shade, and also just really quickly talk about what's in the pipeline. Sorry, I'm like trying to talk and do this at the same time. Also talk about what's in the pipeline, because we do have 3 collections that we're going to be releasing this year that are not the New York powders. So give me just 1 second and we will move on. Kind of feel like I might have put too much concealer, guys. But it actually, you can't see it as much, so maybe, I don't know. Okay, good enough, because I keep messing with it. I'm gonna mess it up. All right, so we did that. We're gonna really quickly just put a little bit of Williamsbridge here, and then this look is gonna be done. And then we're going to get on to the good stuff. So let me use, okay, Williamsbridge. So yeah, this is actually a really interesting look. Like, I don't know that I would actually really wear this, but I love the way it looks. All right, I'm like, I think, ooh, well, you guys can't see as much as I can, so it's okay. But yeah, so there's a little bit of Williamsbridge. That's done. All right, so this is the completed look. And for the most part, we only used 4 colors. We used St. George, which is the bright blue. Williamsbridge was the highlight. We had a little bit of Bed-Stuy in the inner corners. And I did use, I don't know what I did with it, but I also used Murray Hill. Anyway, so this is the look. It is very easy to do. Also shows you exactly how versatile all of our shades can be. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I said, I don't know that I would actually be wearing this anywhere, but it's a fun little look. And it's just a great, if you just want to play around with color, you could totally do that with this. So one product can do so much, which is really what we focused on with Quaker Cosmetics, especially with the New York powders. So just New York powders. So as you can see, these are 0.76 ounces. They're actually quite large. So you get a lot of product. And we really do want to make sure that you have something that you can just do with so many different ways. Wow, okay, I got my 150 minutes of activity. So that was that. So new colors for the New York powders. So we are going to continue to release new colors from the New York powders, but at this point, that collection officially launched in fall of 2020. So we are now heading into 2022, and we are focusing more of our attention on newer collections, but we are not phasing it out. We're just not going to be releasing as many colors as frequently. So we did do some testing a couple weeks ago just to look at some new colors, see what we could do, and we came out with this one. So this is a low shimmer shade as well, very similar to St. George or even Queensbridge. So it's a color where it does have, and I will open it up for you and swatch it, it does have a little bit of shimmer, but it's really not designed to be like this high shimmer color. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we really wanted to we started out focusing on things that could be highlighters, and then as we've continued, it's been like, oh, well, what more can somebody do with these colors? So this is the new color, and we do not have a name for it yet. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier in tonight's live, it might just be something where we ask you guys to name it. Like we'll give you a couple of names like we did with Queensbridge and be like, hey, you decide. I do know that we have had people asking us, when are we going to bring out more sets, like more of the kits? So if you guys are familiar with the New York kits, like the Borough kits, you know that basically it's a mini stack, which I don't have it with me, but it's a mini stack of colors from a borough with its corresponding lash. So right now we only have that for Manhattan and the Bronx because those two have the most colors what would make sense. So thank you. It's a good color. But we do want to eventually get to a point where we have all 5 boroughs as kits that you can buy. So when we do come out with this one, we are most likely going to be focusing on colors. Yes, I will show you the color. I'm like super chatting. We are going to be mostly focusing on names from underrepresented boroughs. So that means Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens. So I think even right now, Queens only has 2, Staten Island only has 1 color, and Brooklyn has 2 colors, whereas Manhattan has 7 colors and the Bronx has 4. So that's going to be where our focus is. So without further ado, I'm going to swatch this color for you guys. And it's just like, it's so vibrant. I'm obsessed. And like I said, it's probably going to come out, trying to clean that up. It's probably, so you see is how bold it is. It's probably going to come out in like June or July. So it doesn't have a name yet, but then we'll probably do a live maybe in May Yeah, like it's such a pretty color, and it doesn't do it justice with the phone camera, but there is a little bit of a shimmer to it. So it's not a super high shimmer like the other, like, you know, Queensbridge or not Queensbridge, Bed-Stuy or some of the other ones, but or Kingsbridge, because Kingsbridge is very shiny. But it does have a little bit there. So it's really pretty. And I'm just gonna wipe my hand off. So that's the color that we are currently testing out right now. And we are going to, you know, we're going to focus on that a little bit. So what's next for Kawaii Girl? If you have been listening throughout, or if you just showed up, we do have a new collection that's going to come out most likely by the end of next month. And that is going to be indie. And if you are, so it's actually going to be, so if you are familiar with the way we work, every collection we do is named after a city that is of significance to me. So Tokyo, because I got married in Tokyo. I work a lot in Japanese market. New York, because I lived in New York for 10 years and still live in the region. And our next one is going to be Indy, which is short for Indianapolis, because I'm born and raised from Indiana and I lived in Indianapolis. So that collection is going to be makeup tools. So that is going to include oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, I actually didn't get the marriage certificate in Tokyo because it's actually quite hard to do if neither of you are a Japanese citizen, and neither my husband or I are Japanese citizens. So we actually had like the official thing here in Central Park. And then we just had the ceremony with friends and family in Japan. But so Tokyo. So Indiana is going to include, Indiana is going to include makeup tools. So that's makeup brushes. We are also going to be coming out with lash kit. So that's going to include the glue, the lash kit tools. We're also going to have a mirror that's going to be part of the initial release with the brushes. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to be making sure that basically once the lash tools and supplies are available, oh yeah, St. George is gorgeous. I love it. I think you guys are going to love St. George. It's such a pretty color. So once we get the lash tools, what we're going to end up doing is when you go onto our website to shop, you'll see that like when you go onto the product page for a lash, you can just buy the individual lash, or you also have the option to make it a kit. And that means that it's going to come with the tool, it's going to come with the glue, and then now you have a full kit. So that's going to be great for people who this is maybe your first time getting into wearing lashes and you want to make sure you have all the tools you need, but you can also still just buy those items individually. So similarly with the brushes, we're starting out with about 4 or 5 brushes, all of which are designed to basically complement our powders. And they're going to be brushes that you would typically be using with that. So that would be eyeshadow, eyeliner, highlighter, blush brush, that kind of a thing. Eyeliner as well, if I didn't say that. And so so that's what we're going to do. So you can buy the brushes individually, and also the mirror individually if you prefer, or you can buy them as a whole kit or a bundle. That way you have everything you would possibly need to get started with your New York powders. So with the actual powders, we do have a bundle, but they're a little different. I don't know if you heard earlier. So we have our burrow kits, because basically the burrow kit is a stack jar that contains colors from that collection, from that particular burrow, plus the corresponding, the corresponding lash style. Oh my gosh. So right now we only have Manhattan and the Bronx because those 2 boroughs had the most colors to choose from. But the goal will be over time to build up so that we have Queens, Staten Island, and Brooklyn. Oh my gosh. It's a sign, you guys. It's a sign. It's like, get off the thing. Okay. So I know, and I should, but I'm like, I like my lips. I don't want to lose the lip. So that's basically what we have in store immediately in the next couple of months. As the year progresses, we are also going to be focusing on doing Seoul. So Seoul is in the city. Seoul is going to be skincare. And then we're also going to have Staten Island. We're also going to have San Francisco. In San Francisco, oh my gosh. It's definitely a sign. Like, get off. Okay. So Staten Island. Oh my God. Okay. This is a Staten Island color. San Francisco is going to be basically blush and lip colors. So we're going to be continuing with the color cosmetics. And we also will probably do a few lashes to complement that as well. So we are going to be slowly expanding. Additionally, like I mentioned a couple times throughout the live, we are also expanding our retail footprint. So yes, you can always shop for us on KawaiiGirlCosmetics.com. You can also shop whatever products we have that currently have reviews for them here on Super Great as well, if you prefer. But we are working to build out our retail presence. So as of right now, we currently do have retailers that are carrying us in 4 states in the US. So that includes California, Wisconsin, Washington State. That's what it was. California, Washington State, Wisconsin, and Texas. So we are continuing to work on getting more of that. And then we also are available on Kinder Beauty. Our Tokyo lashes, which I'm wearing right now, are available on kinderbeauty.com as part of their lash bundle. It's not part of their subscription service. It's part of their marketplace. So you don't have to, hey, hi Press Flowers. You do not have to be a Kinder Beauty subscriber to buy anything from their marketplace. Additionally, we're going to be carried soon on a couple of other online retailers in the US, and we are actively in conversations now to connect with retailers, large retailers in Canada. So we are fingers crossed that that is going to happen. And then also, I don't know if we have anybody here who's in the Asian market, but we are also working to break into the Asian market as well. So that might be something that happens for us by the end of the year. So we are really, really working to make sure that we have a bigger presence for you guys and that you're not just limited to shopping on our website or shopping on Super Great. But if you do shop on Super Great, all of our products that are available for sale are always going to be 20% off as an incentive. And I do believe you get coins when you buy, which reminds me, thank you for everybody who hung out. I am going to gift you coins because I definitely appreciate that you guys hung out with me today. So we're gifting the audience. Yes. There you go. Okay, awesome. So you guys have coins. That is pretty much it for me. I'm going to head off before I get into another coughing fit. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This definitely ended up being a lot longer live than I was expecting, but it was really, really great to chat with you and to just see everybody come out. Fingers crossed that we are going to be coming into Canada soon. And again, if you want to see us in an independent beauty retailer near you, please let your retailer know that you love this company called Kawaii Girl Cosmetics and they need to get on it. So that's your homework. If you are interested, we will continue to do our part, and hopefully when we do our next live, it will be because we are releasing Indie, and it's not going to be a drop, but it will be a live sale. And you guys will be able to shop it, and we'll just show you, do a whole tutorial of obviously how to use the brushes, how to use the mirror, etc., whatever. So that's going to be fantastic. I am going to sign off before I have another coughing fit. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you have a really good Wednesday wherever you are, and that the weather is decent where it's like freezing and snowing here in New Jersey. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.